If you have been sent this video or you clicked on it because your birthday is coming up in October, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday in October, happy birthday to you. Now, you wish for something really, really hard, and I will channel the wishes into my blow, okay? Here we go. Are you there yet? Happy birthday to all you October kids, and especially to my dearest friend Fenia, who has her birthday in 2 days. And it's absolutely amazing. Well, actually, it's not. She actually has one every year. But we've been friends for a lifetime, basically, and even though we're pretty different, she's an artist, you know, and I'm just, well, a scientist. Here we are. As teenies, she has been such a huge help and inspiration and support and guide with everything in my life. So this video on what is special about October kids is for you all, but especially for Fenia. Chronia sukala Fenia. So about to Okay. Don't get sentimental now. Welcome back, and welcome back to Explaining Humans. And I'm Margarita, an anthropologist and behavioral and cognitive biologist. And as you know, well, you probably don't since this is the 2nd video or something, but yeah, here on this channel I am breaking down some science around humans for you. Whether it's about our body, behavior, health, and so on. So consider coming back next week for more of that. But let's get into October birthdays for today. Let me first squeeze in a quick disclaimer. Science is all about stats and probabilities. A study can tell you, for example, that one group of people is more likely to do or to be or to become some way than another group of people, based on hopefully, carefully and correctly collected data. This means that if you are an October babe and some of the things that will follow do not apply to you, this does not make the science wrong or you weird or your parents liars about when you were born or something. Everyone is obviously a special snowflake. Also, this has absolutely nothing to do with astrology or zodiac signs, although that would be fun. Now that we're all on the same page, let's dig right into it. Number 1. October babies are more likely to live to get 100 years old. There are several studies that showed that centenarians, this is a fancy word for over 100-year-old ones, are more likely to be born in the fall months of September to November in comparison to all other months. But why? Well, I'm not gonna complain because I'm a September kiddo, but still, why does that happen? There are a few theories on this. For one, there's the hypothesis that seasonal vitamin deficiency during the critical periods of fetus and infant development may actually affect later health and longevity for the deficiency exposed birth cohorts. Yeah. But what the F does that mean? This basically means that improper diet or deficiencies during the pregnancy can cause many mutations in the fetus, and that is more probable to lead to health problems later in life. And these deficiencies are more likely to occur during an important period of the pregnancy in the winter months, which would make less viable spring or summer babies. Birth weight seems to also be a good indicator for nutritional status during early development. Fat babies are usually healthier, and in this review of birth weight seasonality in developed countries shows that there's a tendency of infants born during the fall and winter seasons in European countries to have higher birth weights. Another factor could be seasonal infectious diseases. Seasonal peaks of disease occurrence are typical for many infections, like for example, the polio virus, which peaks in July and August. This means that pregnant women getting polio during a certain time in early life, in early development of the fetus, or in early life of the kid would impact the kid's health, obviously. So if a newborn gets polio, that's really shit, and these kids have a horrible life expectancy. Temperature is the next one. Apparently the environmental temperature is also important during conception as well as during birth and the first months of life. There's this study, for example, explaining that women born in or right before summer, which means with a higher temperature during the first months of life, were more likely to suffer from severe diarrhea and dehydration in infancy, which would lead to high blood pressure at older ages. Preemies are also born often in summer, which has been linked to higher temperature, which affects a child's health, obviously, because otherwise we would all come earlier if we were ready for it. But we're premature as it is, so every day in the womb is a good one. Also, sperm quality is lower in high temperatures, and this makes spring babies conceived in summer again less viable. On the other hand, too low temperatures, so if it's cold outdoors, at birth during the winter months, it is associated with coronary heart disease, insulin resistance, and poor lung function at older ages. So being born in the fall, where it's not yet really cold but also not hot anymore, it's just perfect. I need you to keep in mind that even though the studies are not that old, and I think that the stats are legit, they were still done on people who were 100 already when these studies were conducted. So this means that the pregnancy and the effects on child's health and longevity is preceding the study for over 100 years. Nowadays there are so many supplements and medication, vaccines, and most important of all, such an amount of knowledge of what and how influences a child's life during pregnancy that of course many of these factors do not apply to babies born now. Or even to babies born in our days, back in the days of this 90s. So no, just because you are born in February, it does not mean that you're gonna drop dead right away, and being born in October might still have some positive aspects, but not as many anymore, and we should all be thankful for that. Of course, I wish you October babies to get to 100, so you can rewatch this video every year, and then it will get so many more views until you're all over 100. Thanks, guys. Number 2. Oh wow, that was a long number 1. It's less likely to be born on Halloween than on any other day around there. I have no idea why, and I absolutely do not understand it because I love Halloween, and I would actually hope for my kid to be born on a date that allows a dress-up birthday party every year. But researchers from Yale found that there is a 5.3% decrease in spontaneous births on Halloween. By spontaneous births, I mean naturally occurring births, not with administered hormonal induction of birth or medical reasons, and not a C-section. Well, the drop in these kind of births was even higher, but they could be actively chosen, so I don't count them in for here. What that means essentially is that women may subconsciously have more control over spontaneous births than you or anybody else might have previously thought. On Valentine's Day, for example, there is a 3.6% increase in spontaneous birth. The authors hypothesize that this phenomenon is caused by the negative for Halloween and the positive for Valentine's symbolism. Like, what? I adore Halloween and I really think Valentine's is kitsch. Again, if I could choose, I would want to be born on the 31st of October instead of the 14th of February. How about you? Am I weird? Number 3. For the same reasons we discussed under the first point, but nowadays especially the prenatal vitamin D exposure. This means that the mom gets to build more vitamin D during the summer due to the more probable exposure to sunlight. And so there is a lot available to the fetus. October kids, together with September and November kids again, are more likely to be good at sports. Being big at birth, remember, fall babies being heavier when born, has also the advantage of more physical strength later in life. And number 4, they are less likely to suffer from asthma. The researchers here said that being born in the months of spring, and thus obviously a higher pollen exposure in infancy, the possibility of them suffering from childhood asthma and hay fever is so increased. So, I mean, how cool is it to be born in October? Live longer, be stronger, have less illnesses, and have Halloween right around the corner as a first holiday. Now go on and share all those cool facts with your friends. You should actually send the vid to them on the day of their birthday. And also you should subscribe for more weekly explanations, obviously. Happy birthday and a beautiful life, you October kitties. We all love you.